basically, it was you and Jacob. Like I met y'all, and then whipped out the board and started making me make a Teams template. He started just writing stuff down. I'm like,
We did, yeah, we did fuck you up at the beginning.
but y'all didn't really know what Teams was or how it worked either. So it was like you're like, there's this software that we're gonna start putting stuff on.
Yeah.
Here's what needs to be on this,
Yeah.
and
So
started writing everything down.
we hired a transaction coordinator. It was very difficult to hire a transaction coordinator, to create one. Jacob's of the mindset that it's easier for him to do it than it is to teach somebody to do it. Have you noticed that?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I can't really teach him. I'm like, we're going to teach somebody because we're going to hire this position. We're going to give up $400 a deal. We're going to hire an agent to do it. I think I know the lady, and she is phenomenal, by the way. Our transaction coordinator is a beast. But yeah, we were like, hey, we don't know what all we want. We want lean, borrowed amount, this, and this.
Started writing it all down.
Yeah, and it's a great template now. Hey, hit us up in the comment section. Drop an email. We'll send you that template of everything that goes onto our transaction coordinator. So when we get a property, we assign our bookkeeper assigns it a job number, and then underneath there is all the relevant information you need to get that property all the way to the closing. And then once we have it listed, all the communication apps on it. We'll send you the whole thing. It's on Teams. You probably do you know what Slack is or Discord? Probably
Discord,
works,
yeah.
probably works the same way. I don't know though. But anyways,
channels.
But then after that, you're like, I came to learn investing. Now I'm working in Teams. I don't know what Teams is, and I'm having to just figure this out. I don't know if this is what I signed up for. But you took it with stride. What'd you think about your next couple of moves?
I think the first time where you really opened my eyes to a lot of things. So I think we went to Hillsboro.
We did go to Hillsboro.
We're supposed to pick up a check, and they're like, "Oh, we wired it." It's like, "Oh, okay." But on that car ride, talked about a lot of stuff, and you just explained a lot of concepts and looked at deals, and that was kind of where I started to have a better idea, not a grasp at all, but a better idea of what the goal was, like what the process is.
And I tell people this all the time. I tell Ryan this. Your questions brought out what I feel like couldn't be brought out of me. You know what I mean? Like you'd ask these questions, and they were such good questions that I would have to I was like, I've not had to think about why I do something that way in so long. Mm-hmm. Get what I mean? Like, why did you say this on that call? Or why do you do it this way versus that way? There's a lot of, I don't even know what the word is. There's a lot of moving parts in any given real estate transaction. And now that I'm trying to think about one, I can't think of it. So, but you would ask the questions, and it would be like, oh, yeah, I do this. If this happens, I do that. If that happens. And I brought
the
it up.
follow-up why to that, though, would be the next
Yeah, and then
point.
the follow-up
It's
why.
like,
And it owner finance versus rental. Like, when do we like right now we're going into recession, whatever, market slowing down, inventory sitting on the market. How do we choose which properties on our board that we already own, we owner finance, versus the ones that we're going to rent? What goes into that decision? Well, it's very simple. These that we're going to owner finance all need to be remodeled or made ready to be livable to the standard we would do them for rental. That takes capital and crews. Capital, not the big deal there. Crews, the humans to go do the work is.
time.
So right now we will market them owner finance as is and see if we can get somebody to bite on them and take them owner finance. If we can, then we don't have to make them ready. If our crews get caught up and can go over there and make them ready, then we'll make them a rental. And it's really that simple of that decision. But at the beginning, when you would ask that question, I'd be like, that one's a fairly easy one, but there are hard ones.
You know why you do stuff, but having to vocalize that, I think, makes you really
made everybody better.
Uh-huh.
I mean, even Spoonie's gotten better. We love Spoonie, but Spoonie takes reps for him. It takes several of those types of transactions for him to realize this is going to happen the same way every time, right? And I could never communicate why. It would just be like, move that mic, and I wouldn't tell him why. You know what I mean? Just move it. And he would understand to move the mic, but then on the next transaction, I'd be like, why didn't you already move the mic? And he's like, I don't know, man. You just told me last time to move the mic. I didn't know why you told me to move the mic. You know what I mean? So those kind of things happen when people work around me. I don't slow down long enough to explain the whys and the intricacies of what's going on. You weren't trying to slow me down or any of that. You just had an inquisitive mind, and that curiosity brought out the whys. And
Well, like I knew absolutely nothing about any of it, you know? So it's like everything was new to me. I had a question about everything. I mean, pretty much every day that I was in the Grosbeck office, I'd go sit with Jacob for 20 minutes at the end of the day and just ask him questions about stuff. Like that was just
bookkeeping.
everything.
Everything.